Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Submerged Hidden Depths. This game is developed and published by Uppercut Games and releases on March 9th, 2022 for a price of $29.99. Now this is the second game in the Submerged series. I believe the first one came out around 2015. Please don't quote me, I could be a little wrong on that. But what is Submerged Hidden Depth if you've never heard of these games? It's basically like an adventure puzzle parkour style kind of game where you are going to be kind of going around and collecting different like puzzles and collectibles. There isn't really enemies or anything that you really fight or combat with. You're basically going to be looking to try to discover areas, traveling on your boat with your brother, and trying to reclaim the world from, if you can see in the distance right there, that kind of black, gooey, plague-like stuff that's kind of overtaken since the flood has kind of hit your area. You're trying to turn everything back into its vibrant, bright life, and the game does this with a beautiful art style, an amazing soundtrack, and just a very relaxing, quaint style game. You're going to spend a lot of your time exploring a map. Speaking of the map, this is a pretty extensive map that you're going to be able to explore, as you can see in this playthrough. I have a lot of things I've yet to uncover, and there's a ton of objects that you need to look for. Seeds are kind of like the areas to explore where you're going to kind of find most of your things. You're going to find relics, flowers, landmarks, all kinds of stuff that are just randomly spread throughout the kind of ocean and water. And this is your brother that I was talking about, where you guys kind of explore and uncover things. Now, this game doesn't offer a lot as far as crazy actiony type stuff, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a fun adventure style puzzle game. I'd say the most relatable games that I might be able to think of for it might be games like, I don't know. It gives me like a weird, like I'm exploring spiral levels without the enemies. So it's kind of a little different in the way it plays, in a sense of, I think anybody could really pick up and play this game, and while you are playing, you're just going to be able to learn and find and discover just new little areas, and there's so many things in the water for you to try to find and figure out what they do and where they are, that it's kind of just neat and relaxing. It's a very peaceful game that encourages you just to hop on your boat, go out into the water, and then, find yourself on a new adventure. While you're playing, you're going to encounter different areas, such as you can see this lookout post. We'll go ahead and climb that here so you can see how a little bit of the movement works. Nothing is really difficult outside of just trying to figure out how the puzzles and mechanisms work in the seed areas when you do find them. Now, there's 10 different seed areas in the game, but you're going to have to do a lot of exploring to figure out how that works. And a lot of that exploring that you're going to do is going to be reliant on finding places like this, the lookout, where you're just going to be climbing up to the highest points and then using your um, I'm gonna say binoculars. It's not a binocular. I think it's a telescope, but don't quote me on my horrible, you know, ability to understand exactly what things always are. And you're just gonna be exploring the area as you hit these lookout points. You're gonna be able to see certain landmarked things that you can kind of trigger out, and then you're just gonna travel to them. Now, this can be a little buggy. As you can see, I probably shouldn't be able to see things through things. So it's kind of is a little quirkiness of this. In certain little areas and how you position yourself, you're going to be able to see, like I could stand right here. I don't think I should be able to see through this rock. I think I should have to move around a little bit. But that's kind of just about the only quirky bug that I've really encountered in this game. And it's not necessarily a bug, it's just kind of how they programmed, I guess, how the telescope works. So maybe that needs a little bit of work. But it's still a very fun game that's just going to allow you to just explore, not have to stress and worry about enemies, and it's done in a very, you know, very well done package, in the sense of, I don't think this game is meant to be difficult. It's just meant to be something that you can relax for a little bit, enjoy yourself, and play. And that's really what this game offers on the table. And for me personally, it's something that I really enjoy. It's nice being able to sit for 5-10 minutes, play a game for a little bit, see the different cool creatures in the area, and then move on from one area to the next while I'm trying to just uncover everything. Some of the creatures you might encounter could be moving around. You might have to look for them in basic certain areas, kind of like that whale we just passed, or thing that I think is a whale was just in the area that we were at. And then, that's kind of the premise of the game. I think I've kind of overviewed it for the most part. Like I said, it's going to vary upon how you play and how you explore as you find things. The map isn't overly ridiculous. This session you're going to see like everything's not entirely uncovered, but this is the map that you're going to end up fully exploring. What you can do things such as fast travel to different points that you've uncovered and see how those points relay as far as what you've found in those areas. So as you can see, at the Columbia Gardens, I still have diaries, flowers, and style pieces to find, and those are all just adding up into the collectibles and things that I need to discover for my area. I'd say gameplay wise, this game's probably got, depending on how fast you are at kind of going through and doing things, I'd say anywhere from 5 to 15 hours of just casual gameplay. What's nice is you can kind of pick up and put down while you're playing. You don't have to sit and grind it and kind of one session. You can take your time, and the save system in this game pretty much saves exactly where you left off. So you could be sitting halfway through the middle portion of a puzzle and then carry on from there. And personally, I really like that. I like that I don't have to get to a certain save zone. The game just lets me go at my own pace, and that works really well for these style of games. As far as visuals, I think this game is very beautifully done. It's a little stiff and static at times with how some things look, but it's done really well. I like the artistic style, and I like just the overall layout of the game and how it works. The soundtrack accompanies the game very well, in my opinion. It's something that just works right for me. It really helps immerse you into when you're playing, and I think that's a good thing. If I have to give any type of opinion or ratings on this game, though, I definitely think it's worth picking up and playing as far as a buy sell pass. It does come in at a little bit of a steep price point, so you are looking at $30. So this might be a little up there, for the style game if you've never really played these. But I definitely think it's still a fun, worthwhile experience for anybody who hasn't played games like this or wants something that's a little different in their tool belt of games, so to speak. I've had a good time playing this. Would I have probably paid $30 for it? I don't know. It's hard to say exactly. I do know the first game is out. I'm not quite sure if that first game is a little cheaper or not. You could always check that. And who knows, maybe the game might have a sale when it actually hits its full release window. But that's something that's hard to tell. I'd say if you like it, relaxing adventure style games, this game's definitely up there, and I think really worth picking up. But if you're not into these stylized kind of games, it's probably not going to be the game for you. But yeah, overall, I definitely, I'd recommend picking it up if you've liked these games, but maybe pass if you've never done these style of games or wait for a sale. It's kind of up to you in that sense. But I do think this is a pretty enjoyable game. It's a nice, relaxing change of pace from, crazy shooters or overly complex puzzles, and just the amount of navigating and exploring, is definitely a win. And just the visual art style for this game is a massive win for me. But yeah, outside of that, if you have any questions, want to know more, see additional gameplay for Submerged Hidden Depths, let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, we'd appreciate you hitting that thumbs up. If you have more questions as well, comment below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We try to upload 2 videos a day, from gameplays, previews, guides, and everything in between. I hope you've had a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time. We'll explore here for just a little bit longer. See if we can't find this thing. Kinda cool. Looks like we did discover a new area. I'll show you just a couple minutes of how like the parkour and movement works in here if you're still watching. Looks like we'll have to figure out a way to navigate this. So if you want to figure out how to navigate it, pick the game up for yourself. Should be available in the Xbox store now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time.